4 other boxing films coming out that year. Rocky II, The Main Event with Barbra Streisand, and one other picture, I forget the title, and the last one was Matilda the Boxing Kangaroo. And so I said, we've got to be different. And so we came up with the idea of doing it black and white.
Joey, what's what? Hey, Jake, you're looking good.
Don't come up here. Answer me when I talk to you.
Yeah, why? Can't my friends up here?
I never really saw boxing the way my father would go every Friday night with my uncles to go see the actual fights. It was not part of my culture, really. And so I didn't know how to shoot it. And so I saw one fight at Madison Square Garden, and I sat in the 3rd row, 1st row, whatever it was. And that's where I picked up the images of the blood dripping on the rope, because I saw that, and also the sponge full of blood in the pail, and putting it on the guy's back with the blood going down his back. I could feel and see I could hear the whiz, the sound of the punches that they flew around.
Right to the body. Robinson comes back with a right on the nose.
I said, what if you do it all from the point of view of the person who's inside the ropes? Time and space are stretched, sound, auditory hallucinations. I mean, this was the way to go. I admitted to myself I didn't know anything about boxing, which worried me a great deal. At one point in the process, I thought, let's make the whole film but never show a boxing match. And then I said that to Norman Mailer one night at a party, and he said, no, you underestimate Jake LaMotta. He was a great boxer. You got to put that boxing match in. You got to put. So I did put the boxing matches in, and years later I met him at a party again. I said, hey, I put the boxing matches in because you told me to. And he goes, yeah, it's the only stuff in the film I didn't like. How to shoot violence. The only way I saw violence really was quite honestly, I came from an area, everybody always hears this, but the area I grew up in New York was very tough. I mean, and I wasn't a great fighter. I mean, I had asthma all the time. They hit me, I went down, you know, couldn't breathe, I turned blue. Kids got upset and they wound up helping me, you know. So the thing was that you learn, the violence was very serious. The culture I came from was very serious. It's not like a video game or like you walk in a room and spray bullets and people go flying. It doesn't work that way. It was something that was personal, serious, and had extraordinary ramifications. Things that would go on for generations and families. And so the violence that I shot, I would try to at times play against it with camera moves that were slower or flat. It's not just showing the violence, it's the sense of the threat of violence, which is really important in the world I grew up in.
You can get out of here. I'm using a new crew tonight, new guys.
I thought I was on for this.
I changed my mind. Take the night off. Jimmy, out the back. Bring him up. There's guys who answer the questions right, and there's guys that don't.
Leo DiCaprio in Departed, when he sits down in a room, he doesn't know who's behind him. He doesn't know if he's being taped, so he's never relaxed. It's always this, because the impending violence at any second. And that violence in a world like that is going to be very painful and very fast, and it's a biblical almost, boom, you know, like the angel of death, gone.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Who's in the frame is really what it's about. It's not just cut, close-up, cut, close-up, cut, close-up, cut, close-up. It's usually a two-shot, or like in Goodfellas, where Joe Pesci talks about, do you think I'm funny?
What do you mean I'm funny? It's funny, you know. It's a good story. It's funny. You're a funny guy.
What do you mean? You mean the way I talk? What?
If you look at that, it's done with two cameras, one aiming over Ray Liotta onto Joe, and the other one past Joe onto Ray. But there's no close-ups. It's medium shots of all the people around them, and you see the sense, the atmosphere changes around Joe and Ray as the scene becomes more dangerous.
I make you laugh? I'm here to amuse you? What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Just watch the body language of the people around them, rather than cut to close-up, close-up. And so
No, I don't know.
here, therefore, we can improvise. We can work within that frame.
How the f am I funny? What the f is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
Get the f Get out of here, Tommy.
Your mother, I almost had him. I almost had him.
I like the idea of the way the camera moves like a piece of music.
And then there was
It's usually, they're usually designed in mind to pieces of music.
Then you had Nicky Eyes
What's up, guy?
and Mikey Francesi
That guy, yeah, I want to see him.
and Jimmy Two Times, who got that nickname because he said everything twice, like...
I'm gonna go get the papers,
I became conscious of camera movement when I began to realize how certain scenes were made and why I was affected certain ways. And I'd say, oh, the camera's moving there and there, that sort of thing. But I really think it was through American musicals and the use of camera movement by Fellini, let's say, and other, you know, and of course the freedom of the camera in the French New Wave films.
Est-ce que Monsieur Tolmatchoff est là?
Le guichet aviation.
God damn it! Trying to make it real compared to what suck it to me.
Usually the scores of my pictures were done with popular music at the time. And coming from where I grew up, the music was playing all the time, and it was sort of, the music became scoring for different things that I saw in life. Whether, you know, it could be something very funny and some very sad music is playing, some ridiculous new rock and roll song is playing, and there's some horrifying thing going on out there in the street. You know, and the counterpoint was really what got me.
A casino boss and his wife were killed. The Bulls questioned Nicky. A dealer from the Sirocco, they questioned Nicky. A bunch of stool pigeons wound up in the trunks of their cars, they questioned Nicky. A lawyer.
I just hear music in my head. It'll segue from Little Richard to Love is Strange, or there was that line where the Mickey and Sylvia sang, "Baby, oh baby, you're the one." And I just saw Bob looking at Sharon. I said, "Baby, oh baby, she's the one." The camera's got to move it on him, but slow motion. But he can't be moving. So I don't want it to seem like slow motion. So we did different versions, 60 frames, 36 frames, 24 frames, that sort of thing. But I knew from that point, the end of Love is Strange, I figured out the other songs that could segue to and from. And so that's how I hear a lot of the music of that period.
What a move. I fell in love right there. But in Vegas, love costs money.
I've only got 20. Can you break it? Yeah, sure, no problem. Yep, no hurry.
The ride with the flamenco literally was a cab ride that I had one night going from 86th Street down to Tribeca, and it's great. It was in the summertime. You open the windows and you had flamenco playing, and he said, "Where are you going?" All the way down to Duane Street. He says, "Okay," and I just hang on, you know, and we danced right through the city in flamenco. It was amazing, just an amazing ride. Nothing stopping us for miles. And the city that time, like 3, 4 in the morning, like that. Oh, it's so beautiful, beautiful.
Excuse me, I just... Oh, my God. Excuse me.
Well, we hope you enjoyed Martin Scorsese's masterclass and his brilliant storytelling in this special edition of the Fabulous Picture Show. Hope you can join us next time.
In my middle age now, as they say, one counts the minutes and the time to spend with family. I have 2 older daughters. One is 40, the other is 30. But to have a 7-year-old, you have to stay around. And when I was in my 50s is one thing. When you get into the 60s, the energy level. The energy level, I don't know if you've been around kids like that.
Yes.